Hello everybody, and welcome back to the playthrough, and a happy new year to you all. I hope you all had a good start to the new year. This is the first episode and the first video I'm working on in 2025, although I know I uploaded one on the 1st or the 2nd, I believe it was. I think it was the 2nd. Pretty sure it was yesterday. I'm recording this on the 3rd. So, yes, technically this is the first episode I'm making in 2025. Not the first I uploaded, though. But yeah, hope you all had a good New Year's. I didn't really get up to much myself. Never really been one of those for big celebrations on New Year's, as I've had plenty of them in the past, and nearly every single one of them has gone wrong. My most fondly remembered one being spending... I can't remember what year it was now. Basically, it was a New Year's celebration. I was stood underneath Sydney Harbour Bridge with a bunch of friends getting incredibly drunk, and then I got ditched by all of them except for one, because that one was so paralytically drunk that I had to look after him until the police showed up to help us get him home. So that was an interesting start to the new year. I really can't remember what year that was now. I think it was about 10-15 years ago at least. That was definitely fun. Anyway, in today's episode we are going to we're going to start building our boar pen. And we're going to follow along the same kind of principle for the pen as we did with the wolves. So it's going to be that kind of boxed-in shape, and it's going to have some support beams and a roof on it, just to make sure the boars are protected from any attacks that we have, any flying enemies that might possibly come in and attack them. I don't want them to all get wiped out by one drake. But instead of going for iron gates and fencing and stuff like that, we're just going to have this one be wood. Basically just going to be a barn that's attached, or that's going to be on the outside in this little corner. But we are going to have it a bit away from the fence. I don't want it to be too close to the fence because I don't want the boars getting annoyed by every greyling that wanders past. Although first things first, we're going to have to sleep through the night. Just letting myself dry off. I do like seeing that comfort 17. It is quite nice having that high level of rested bonus. There we go. Right. Day 122. We're a third of the way through. Yeah, we're pretty much a third of the way through a whole year in-game. Right, so I'm going to change my armor set, and reason being that, because we're crafting and building back at home base, I don't think we're going to get attacked by anything too major. I don't think we're going to have to really do that much in terms of fighting, so I want the increased movement speed from a lighter arm set. Make sure all of our tools are repaired. We are going to need to go and farm or cut down a whole bunch of trees. Not sure, should we do that here or should we go I think we might go somewhere else for that actually. Well, first things first, we need to grab some food and get some food buff. Probably cook some stuff as well. Can we make some more of this? We can. Nice. Okay, so it's just turnip and boar meat. Might as well cook some more of this, seeing as though we've got plenty of turnips and plenty of boar meat. That should do. Probably make some wolf skewers as well, I think. Yeah, we've got plenty of honey, so we'll do that. I just want some, basically just like some mid-level food. Nothing too high-level, so we're saving that for when we actually are in the plains, but I don't want anything too low-level either. I don't just want to eat, like, fruit and veg again. I want to have a decent amount of stamina, just so we don't have to keep stopping and recharging and resting up, and that kind of stuff. Cook ourselves some wolf jerky. Might as well just cook as much as we possibly can. There we go, give ourselves a stack. That should be okay. Pop those back in there. Pop the turnips back in here. What should we have for our third piece of food? I might just cook some basic lox meat. So I didn't mention that with the lox meat. Obviously we've got the lox meat pie recipe. I think that's the only thing we've got with lox meat currently, but you can just straight up cook the lox meat on the spit, the iron spit, and you can just eat that. I believe it gives like 50 or 60 health. So it's a semi-decent health food, but not the best use for your lox meat, I would say. Now, before we get started on crafting, there is one small update I would like to give you all. Now, this update isn't really going to change anything for recordings, at least for the Valheim playthrough, for a while yet, but it was something that I discovered whilst I was trying to record footage for my Path of Exile 2 playthrough, or boss guide series that I'm doing, which is that I worked out that some of the recordings I do, I've noticed it whilst watching this footage back, some of the recordings I do, you can notice that there's this ever so slight little bit of like visual lag and GPU lag and stuff like that. I say GPU lag. And it's kind of like, it's not like a glitch, but it's like the graphics just go a bit fuzzy for like a second, and then it kind of pops back in. And in some episodes, in some situations in some episodes, the graphics haven't been fantastic. And I've worked out the reason why is because I had the settings, because I use OBS to do all my recording. I had the settings all wrong, and basically what OBS was doing was it was using my CPU to do all the processing power, or to do something in terms of the actual graphics side of it, rather than using my GPU. So that for a game like Valheim, which isn't, I wouldn't say it's massively CPU intensive, it can be at moments, which is why I think sometimes you'll notice a little bit of a graphical kind of glitch or a kind of thing show up where it looks a bit weird, where it goes a bit like fuzzy for a second. So it did that in the kitchen just then while we were cooking some food. It went a little bit fuzzy for a couple of moments, and I think that's because it's the GPU. Sorry, I think it's because because OBS is using the CPU, and obviously it's trying to process a lot of different things going on the screen at once. Obviously, with Valheim in the playthrough, I didn't really notice it that much, like, because it's not that intense of a game to run. I think I'm currently running on a 32 gig amount of processing power, so it's 32 gig amount of RAM, so it's not that intense, and it's not really putting my laptop under any struggle or any pressure when it comes to recording this. But I noticed it a lot when I was playing Path of Exile, with it being brand new and with it still being in early access. It's not finished nor optimized yet, and as I've gotten later and later into the game, I've noticed that a lot of recordings I've made have really come out very fuzzy and haven't looked anywhere near the quality at which I'm playing at, because the game obviously looks fantastic when I'm playing it, but when I go back and watch the recording, it looks really terrible. And so I did a bit of research and found out that that's the reason why that OBS was using my CPU and not my GPU. So I have switched that round, and if any of you are actually watching the Boss Battles of Rayclast boss guide series, you'll notice that the first couple of episodes are a little bit poor quality, and then most recent ones have been getting a lot better. That's because I've worked out why, and Valheim should be the same as well. So when we start recording in the Mistlands again, when we actually have caught up, I don't want to do any more playing on recording of the series just yet until we've actually caught up, so that I can remember all of the things that we have mentioned that we were going to do when we start recording again, like the Bog Witch update and stuff like that. So yeah, that is a couple of bits and pieces. It's just something I wanted to cover quickly. I was going to wait until we actually caught up before mentioning it, but then realised that could be a few months away. So, might as well mention it now. Something I learned recently. Alright, almost done. Just cutting down some trees and gathering a whole bunch of wood. Again, I've come back to the meadows right next to our plains biome, simply because right next to the portal were a whole bunch of trees. Although we do need to be really careful about going too close to the plains, because if we attract anything, we're going to be in some serious trouble, given that we're only wearing trollhide armour. We might be able to survive if we pulled our shield out, but I don't really want to run the risk of doing that. We should probably think about taking this portal down at some point as well. I know it's right next to the Clothier, but we also have a portal, I don't know, about 100 feet from where we are. Like our plains base is literally right next to the Clothier as well, so it's not like we need both of these portals. But then again, having this portal here is quite nice because it's providing a lot of wood and some very easy access to a lot of wood as well, so we'll probably keep it for the time being. Alright, we have 3 or 4 stacks of wood. That should be enough, hopefully. And again, I'm not making anything too grandiose or massive with this. It's just a bog standard kind of boar pen. Yeah, 4 stacks should be fine, although we are now overweight, which is not fantastic. We're going to have to drop some bits of wood. Just put those 9 in there. There we go. Let's put the seeds in the chest. I have noticed as well that that chest, which is next to the oven, is literally inside it because of where we placed it. I should probably move it at some point just so it doesn't look weird, but I have noticed that. We built the oven in the side of the wall and didn't realise that where we placed it, it wasn't. It was literally inside the chest, so we might have to shift that at some point. Okay, first things first, as we do with 90% of the building that we do, we need to flatten the ground. We need to remove this big rock as well. Might as well. I've been thinking about removing these 2 rocks pretty much since we built this base. They have been a bit in the way, so we'll get rid of these 2 now. Shouldn't take us very long, although we can't pick up the stones because we don't have the carry weight for them. There we go. Just chop those down. Chop this one down. Just to give us as much space as possible. We are also probably going to have to use the pickaxe to flatten out some of the ground a bit more, because I can see that there's a couple of areas where there's bits of ground just sticking up because there's stones in there, and the hoe won't really do much in terms of trying to flatten it. Oh, but to be fair, it doesn't look too bad. Dump the stones in there. Oh, we dropped all the wood. Didn't mean to do that. Right. Oh, actually, a lot of the bits of ground that were sticking up are actually flattened a bit. That looks okay. I don't want to flatten out, so I don't want to level the ground everywhere and remove all the grass that we've got. But something that you might have noticed with the, I believe it's the hoe, or it might be the cultivator, you can actually replant grass areas on a floor if you wanted to. Ooh, sharp stakes. Well, obviously we're not going to need those, but actually sharp stakes are not a bad idea if we want to protect the edges of our base. That's the wall that's right next to the ocean or the water. If you want to stop creatures from walking around there, we could just build a couple of those like stake walls. We haven't really seen stake walls yet. I think there might be the fulling camps in the plains will make use of those stake walls. We'll probably see them at some point. Basically, it's a form of defense. If you or a creature run into those stakes, you will take a small amount of damage and take a bit of knockback as well. They're basically just spiked fence like guard areas, or guard areas like defensive fortifications almost. It's basically just so that it stops creatures from being able to just walk straight in somewhere. So if we put some of those right at the edge of our wall on the water's edge, that should stop creatures from just wandering around the wall. Right, what we're doing now, we're going to have to flatten out some more of this ground, but I think we should start building up these walls first. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this pen, like build the actual frame outline of it with these walls, without taking these fence bits down, if I can, that is. The reason why is I don't want my boar just loosely walking around the base, and then us having to spend a good amount of time trying to wrangle them back into the pen. It'll just be easier if we knock sections of this round pole fence down when we actually have the space to do it, and when I'm sure that the boar won't be able to get out. Now I don't want it to be too big, but I also don't want it to be too small. I want there to be enough room that we can breed several boar should need be, but I don't want it to go crazy on the population. I also don't want it to take up too much space. So I'm probably going to make it about the same size as our comfort building over there, our home, our bedroom, should we call it. Although I've just realised we're now probably going to have to dig out some more of the ground here because the wall fence, or the wall, is is like half in the floor, which is not great. So yeah, we'll probably have to use the pickaxe to get rid of that. I'm just going to quickly build this fence back up just so that boar doesn't escape. Look at you two trying to get out. You saw that hole in the fence and immediately went for it, you sods. Oh, steady on, boar. Careful, you don't want to get hit by this pickaxe. I doubt you'll survive. Right, I'm also going to have to try and dig out some of the floor, flatten it down a bit so that the wall is actually buildable and that it's not stuck in, although it is going to look a bit wonky. Then again, it's a pig farm. It's not really supposed to be pretty. It's more just, it's function over fashion, if that makes sense. We're going to build that there, but the bush is now glitching through. Ah. Can we hit the bush from here? Nope. Right, let's try this side. Oh no, we're just hitting the wood fence. Right, we'll take the wood wall off. Then axe, and yeah, there we go, perfect. Well, actually, we'll need to dig out a couple more sections. I can see that boar in the corner over there as well with the wall sections. We're going to have to shift you out of the way. I think what we'll do is we'll probably use some food to attract them to one point. I'm sure I've mentioned this already, but I will quickly mention it again now, just in case. There is kind of a way that you can wrangle your tame animals, or at least with boar. Is that sometimes, or you'll notice when you hover over them, they say tame and then hungry next to them. If you were to drop some food on the floor that they want, you would be able to, or at least I think most of them, if not all of them, would start walking towards that food. Oh, you bugger, you just pushed me out of the way when I was building that. Oh, stop pushing me! Stupid boar. What are you doing? Get out of the way. There we go. Right. Get that one in there. Let's pick up the wood, and we'll have to push you in. So yeah, you can technically use their food to kind of attract them in a certain space or a certain area. It doesn't work 100% of the time, but it's kind of like a minor fix. Oh, I see that grayling. Go away. Wow, he went flying. See you later. Have a nice swim. Right. You, get in. Build that one there. Right. Oh, perfect. Look at this one, just wanders in straight away. Didn't even have to push them. Okay, put that there. Right, so we've got 3 boar inside. Now we can pretty much just start taking the fence down. I think what we could do is, if we don't want to spend too much time wrangling the boar inside this pen and having others wander out whilst we're trying to do the same, one thing we could do is we could just cull these 2 off, or we could just knock a hole in the fence here and just push them in quickly because they're right here. Look at that, perfect timing. No, don't push me out. Stop it. There we go. Right, take this fence down because we no longer need it. Reclaim all the wood for it. Take this one down, and you, perfect. And there we go. Now we have all the boar in the area that we want them in, and we can finish off building up the actual walls of it. And we've still got plenty of wood, which is really good. So, let's put all the wood in there for now. Let's dump this stone as well. We are going to need some core wood, because obviously I want to make the same, what they called log poles. These are going to be the roof part. We might have to move that one eventually, because we're going to want to have the gate there. Oh, is this going to work? Or are we going to be a bit wonky? Yeah, if we put that one there, knock this... Guys, stop pushing me out of the way! Seriously! And put that one there, that should be spot on. Yep, that one goes here. You on the corner. This is working out to be very good. Okay, now we want the beams so that we could actually build the framework for the roof. Is that going to fit that way? It's difficult when you're looking at the sun because of the glare. There we go. Perfect. And then if we get a 2-meter beam, that should finish off that one. Come on. There. Yes, perfect. Right. Now we're going to need 2-meter beams every way, I think. Yeah, that should fit properly. And then if we do... Yep. So there are going to be slight splits and stuff in the actual beams themselves, but honestly, from a distance, you'll barely notice it. If you guys were to build something similar to this, you'll barely even notice how different it is. Now, why is that pole out of position compared to these two? That is so strange. And are we still going to get the stability if we build it there? Yes, we are, because it's green. That's perfect, okay. I was getting a bit worried there, thinking that we were going to lose out on some stability. That was a concern. Right, this one... Oh, actually, no, for this one we need another 4 meter beam. Perfect, right. This is turning out very nice. I quite like it so far. Get rid of this. Put it more central. There we go. Wood. There you are. Wood. Right. How are we going to do this in terms of... Actually, we should probably finish off building the... Actually, no. What we're going to do is we're going to reduce it by 1, because I want it to be a square. I don't want it to be a rectangle. So if we just reduce the size by 1, then we're going to have to knock these parts of the wall down. Yeah, I want it to be more square. I don't want it to be rectangular and have it awkward shape. Knock those down. Get rid of these. Obviously, we built the inside wall first, so the boar don't have a chance to escape. It's getting close to night time as well, so we should probably speed up on the building. Otherwise, we're going to struggle seeing what we're doing. There we go. Log beam. That should fit on the end here. Perfect. Oh, that's the wrong way. There we are. Yes, perfect. Pop that there. Put another one there. And finally, log beam, 4 meter. Pop that there. And then we should be able to squeeze another one on the edge here. That should fit perfectly, I think. And then a 2 meter should make that whole roof section support beam bit ready. Yep. There we go. Beautiful. Again, getting very dark. Apologies if it's difficult to see what's going on. Right, so we're going to put a wooden gate in, obviously. Now I should have one on either side, so if we pop that one there, turn it round, pop one on the other side, and then we're going to remove this beam from the middle here. There we go. Beautiful. Right, now it's time to... Actually, we'll put them on one side here. That way we still keep the stability for the beam, the support beams. Yeah, perfect. Although that one's a bit awkward out of place. Yeah, there we are. And is that one? Yep, cool. Okay. I want to make sure that the actual stability that these log poles are providing is covered throughout pretty much most, if not all, of the building. Again, it's just a very simple wood barn that we're building, like a wood pen for the boar, so it doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but I just want to avoid the risk of any roof tiles falling in without having to build like an intricate support beam system for the roof. Oh, come on, snap properly please, there we go. Again, using the snapping options to change which point on the build piece that you're building that the snapping tool is actually snapping to. So I think by standard it's just we're going to go to sleep so we can actually see what's going on. So standard snapping is central to the thing that you're looking at. So if you're looking at a wood wall, the standard snapping option is when is the center of that wooden wall, and then you can snap it to the bottom top. There's like the top left corner, the top right corner, the bottom right corner, the bottom left corner, so that you can attach it to certain things in a position if that thing is in an awkward position for you to look at. Naturally, when you're building stuff and you want it to snap, you kind of have to be looking at the thing that you want it to snap to. So building a roof is kind of awkward, because obviously the higher you get, the more difficult it is for you to be able to look at the corner of the wall or the edge of the wall that you're snapping it to. So having the different snapping options, this is something they added after release, or after the release when it originally came out. And I was really happy with it because I used to hate building. I really did. When I was on the shared world, when I first started playing, I was quite happy that other people were more building minded when it came to the playthrough, or when it came to the world that we had, because I hated building. It was a pain in the backside. You had to have like scaffolding system around the whole building just to build a moderate sized building, so you could actually look at the like the surface that you wanted to snap certain bits to. It wasn't that bad. I mean, I might be overstating it a little bit there, but it wasn't fantastic, I will say. I wasn't too happy with it. We actually run out of wood. Oh, we didn't take that much wood, did we? Because we dumped it all in the chest. Yeah, so let's go get that wood first. Yeah, there it is. Perfect. We should probably... No, actually, no, we've got the carry weight. We'll just handle it for now. Okay. Pop you there. Pop you... Can we snap you? Come on. Snapping bottom 2. Bottom 1. There we go. Right, let's get that part in. Okay, get that bit placed on there. I'm quite happy with these support beams that we've been using to build our roofs with recently, as they seem to have helped the stability of our roofs a lot better. As you can tell, these bits are bright green, and I think the two top pieces are probably going to be quite stable actually. Maybe I like the orangish colour. Now, when it comes to stability, again, I have mentioned this in previous building episodes, but it has been a while, so for any newcomers to the series, with your stability of build pieces, the further away you build from the ground, the less stable your build pieces are and the higher chance they have of falling down. Although I'm not sure if it is a chance of falling. It's not like if you've got an orange durable, like stability on a bit of wall, that it's just going to collapse on you. I think the only colour you really need to be concerned about is like a red to a darkish red. And as you can see, the top of our roof there is yellow, so it's absolutely fine. Although I think the stability went down a tiny bit just there because we built that wall piece on. But these wall pieces have that kind of beam edge to them as well, so that should, actually, if anything, that should help the stability even more. And if we fill these two sections in here, yeah, it's green, so we're absolutely fine with stability. Not concerned about it at all. And this building looks fantastic. I'm really happy with this. These Boar have almost a better house than I do. I'm kind of jealous in a way. So yeah, I know I've mentioned this, I've said it several times, but I don't think stability is just I'll say like a percentage chance that your building could just fall down. I don't think that's the case. I think you just need to be really careful that if you build something onto a roof or a wall section and you're building quite far away from the ground and you notice that it's a bright red to a dark red colour, that's probably going to fall off eventually. Anyway, now that we're quite happy with the stability, yep, even those edge pieces are quite green as well, so that's absolutely great. Really happy with that. That's fantastic. And the Boars have a better view than I do. I mean, look at that panoramic view they've got inside there. I've got this tiny slat window on the side of my wall, and they've got this. Quite jealous, I'm not going to lie. We might have to look at building something similar when we get to the Mistlands. And we still have that awkwardly placed crafting bench on top of our on top of our comfort house. Wow, I really am bad at remembering not to have that there. I just need to get up there and take it down one day. Anyway, we are done with that boar pen, so now both of our tame animals in our base have a nice pen for them to live and to breed and to feed in. Breed and feed. Quite happy with that. Let's just sort the food chest out. We are going to head back to the plains at some point and check on our barley and our flax, because in our last episode we checked on them and they were healthy and growing, so they should, seeing as though it's been a couple of days, they should be finished, I think. At least I'm hoping they are. We should also change our gear back because we are still wearing the troll hide armor, but I think we will probably end the episode very shortly. We'll end it as we're heading out to the plains, and we'll start the next episode with the plains base and checking on the barley and flax. So yeah, we'll just quickly change our armor over and then head over there. So yes, thank you everybody for watching. I certainly hope you've all enjoyed this episode. It's been another Let's Build, and I'm quite happy with what we've done so far. It's pretty nice having more secure pens for our boar and our wolves. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with those. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and we shall catch you in the next episode.